So as my topic is surrealism, I decided to go to the Tate Modern as they had a surrealism expedition going on at the time. And obviously, like, a lot of this stuff is art, not so much photography, but from what I found, there was a lot of stuff in there which, like, influenced kind of what I wanted to create. So yeah, I mean, these are some of the kind of artists I found which I quite liked, especially Erna Rosenstein, because I really like, she's kind of got, it kind of reminds me of like graphic design, like the shapes and stuff, and I feel like that's something I can recreate or, you know, kind of incorporate in my own work. So I did an artist page on Joan Miro, because I really like the colours and the kind of shapes that he used in his work. I kind of did like just some experiments with like different kind of pens, fine liners. So this one's kind of a mix of digital and mixed media, and same for this one as well. That's kind of more like done on computer and stuff. But this is kind of inspired by this one here, which I really liked. It's quite simple, but like there's a lot of things you can pick out and like see in the picture. I then did my photo shoot plan. So I was kind of just going to do some simple portraits, which you can see kind of changes as I did my photo shoot, but my initial idea was to do some portraits because I found these kind of pieces of work that he did, which I quite liked. But yeah, I did my photo shoot and ended up actually doing kind of a range of different shots. So I did some indoors with some like black backgrounds, some with some white backgrounds, and then I looked at going outside and doing some of like bigger landscapes, and you know, did that so that when I create my piece I can kind of experiment with what I want to make. I picked out some of my favourite images, so I picked like a range of different ones that were that I took, so that when it comes to making it I've got loads I can work with and like mix together. Here were just some kind of like rough ideas of what I could create. So like we kind of got some quite simple ones, and then I did something that mixed kind of a lot of the images I took. So using like the sky and, you know, kind of like digitally drawing stuff on as well. Then I did some like experiment pieces which were like really inspired by the ones I just said here. So like this one was kind of like incorporated into this, and then obviously that's one of my design ideas I kind of did as like a piece. So like some are a bit quirky than others, some like, you know, digitally done, and then this one kind of makes me media, and same with this one as well. And then I kind of decided to change my title because I felt like just surrealism was a bit bland, and I think I could have maybe done something else which wasn't so, like, you know, so broad. So I kind of broke it down to turning pieces of surrealism art into photography. So it's still quite like basic, but I didn't want it to be just surrealism because it means that I'm kind of like, you know, there's too much to kind of cover. I felt that like I wanted to push my artist a bit more, so I did another artist called Louis Barber, which was inspired by Joan Miro in this one here, but he obviously has his own different pieces of artwork, so he turns like iconic pieces of art into something else, which I really liked because I think that was kind of what I was aiming to do into a photography style. So then I did some more kind of design ideas, not as detailed as the other ones I've done, but like just roughly, and I kind of went with the portrait style. I felt like because Louis Barber did a lot of portraits, it only makes sense to me to do that as well. And in my development process, I was kind of wanting to do something mixed media because I felt with all the colours and shapes it would be good to kind of layer and experiment. So I ended up buying some like loads of different wrapping paper, and I decided on this one, and just kind of played around with the image that I cut out and printed, and kind of just moved it around. And then these dinosaurs were from another different wrapping paper, but I liked the fact that I put them in space because it kind of creates that element of surrealism, because obviously dinosaurs aren't in space. And to link them, I added like some like space helmets and stuff just to like keep the length so it's not completely separate. And then I decided to kind of go with Louis Barber's style of the kind of like people that are scattered all over the image. So I did that, and then I don't know if you can see, but I kind of like turned them into aliens and stuff. And yeah, that's how I got my final piece for this bit.